7 reasons why your aim sucks. No matter how clever you are in outsmarting your opponents, if you can't hit your shots, it doesn't count for much. I could load you up with all the knowledge on strategies and techniques, but if your aim is off, climbing the ranks will be tough. So, how do you improve your lousy aim to level up quicker? I've been through the same struggle, feeling stuck and hopeless. But guess what? I've found some solutions and now I'm pulling off clips like this. I've boiled down my aim tips to 7 key ones after grinding over 400 hours and reaching Immortal 3 with 300 plus RR. Now, let's kick off with the basics. Sure, it might not be the flashiest stuff, but trust me, it's crucial. Think of it like building a house. You need a solid foundation. That's why you hear everyone preaching the same basics in those videos. It's fundamental. Without a strong foundation, you're basically stuck in the mud. So, let's dive into tip number 1. Bad mouse control. This is all about your raw aim, your ability to move that mouse and land those shots. If you can't hit a still target in the head, well, you're in trouble. Especially in the lower ranks, where it's less about fancy tactics and more about landing your shots. But even as you climb, don't think this gets less important. Sure, in higher ranks, there's more strategy and utility flying around, but trust me, being able to aim is still king. Improving your raw aim by 10% won't necessarily win you 10% more fights in higher ranks because folks there are smarter about how they play, but it's still a game changer. Number 2. Bad movement. In a fight, there are two sides, making the enemy an easy target to hit and making yourself a hard target to hit. To nail this, you gotta master strafe bursting. But here's the kicker, don't do this. To make yourself a tougher target, try incorporating longer strafes. You might have seen the popping swing move. It's effective because opponents often hold angles too tightly and struggle with large flicks or tracking. By using longer strafes, you're sort of doing mini pop-in swings. But hey, it takes some time getting used to. Finding the sweet spot between too long and too short can be tricky. What helped me was practicing this in deathmatch mode. Number 3. You skip warm-ups. Listen up. If you want your aim to be on point every time, you gotta warm up consistently. Find a warm-up routine that you actually enjoy and that covers all the bases. Flicking, micro and macro gun control, tracking, and doing it all while moving. But here's the deal. Don't slack off on your warm-ups. It's tempting to be lazy, but trust me, it's a big mistake. Number 4. Tracking. This is seriously underrated stuff. Sure, everyone talks about grid shot and flicks, but Valorant is all about precision and smoothness. That's where tracking comes in. It's super important. It helps you iron out shaky and imprecise aim, lets you clear corners like a boss, and most crucially, keeps you on target while you're strafing and moving. And let's be real, movement is a huge part of aiming. Number 5. Ineffective gun control. You could be a beast with raw aim and movement, but if you can't handle your gun, it's all for nothing. Here's the deal. In Valorant, spraying like crazy isn't the way to go. It's all about precision, and spraying just ain't precise. Sure, there are moments where it's necessary like up close and personal, but otherwise, stick to bursting and tapping. When you spray, especially if you crouch, God forbid, you're basically signing up for a duel right then and there. Plus, you're a sitting duck since you can't move around much. If you find yourself spraying too much, maybe even unbind that crouch key. Instead, make aiming for the head a habit and keep yourself nimble. Number 6. Very high sensitivity. In Valorant, landing those one-step headshots is what separates the pros from the rest. And trust me, it's all about precision, not speed. You don't need some crazy high sensitivity that makes your mouse fly around like it's on rocket fuel. Most pros actually hang out around a certain range called EDPI. It's like their sweet spot. But here's the kicker. There's no one-size-fits-all perfect sensitivity. It's all about finding what works best for you. Here's a little test for you. Head into the practice range, stand by a wall, and try popping some heads. Then, see how you do with tracking a moving target. If you're struggling to keep it steady, chances are your sensitivity is too high. Time to dial it back a bit until you find that sweet spot that feels just right. Number 7. Not realigning aim. Since lower sensitivities are generally favored in Valorant, you'll find yourself making bigger mouse movements. And yeah, that can sometimes leave your mouse in a pretty awkward spot. If you're stretching your wrist far to the left or right, you're sacrificing control and range of motion. So, after you've cleared an angle or done a big flick, it's crucial to reset your aim and mouse to a neutral position. This sets you up for success in the next firefight, giving you the best shot at coming out on top. And now, for the bonus tip, this one's a game changer when it comes to improving your aim. Number 8. Staying calm. In Valorant, it's not about being the fastest player in the fight. It's about being the most precise. Sure, you might be lightning fast with your flicks, but if you're just a hair off target, you're gonna miss. And a miss is a miss, no matter how quick you are. So, take your time, line up that shot, and breathe. It's a much more consistent approach. Remember this mental framework. See the enemy, aim, stop, and then shoot. Don't get it twisted by shooting before you're properly aimed in. And whatever you do, don't panic and start blasting away before you've even got your sights set. The best way to drill this, hit some deathmatch and focus on staying cool, calm, and collected while you take your shots. Trust me, it'll make a world of difference. And that's a wrap for today. If you find this video helpful in any way, I would really appreciate it if you could like the video or even subscribe. I hope these tips help you as much as they did for me, and I'll see you in the next video.